Hey, let me grab your all attention just for a small minute here. Did you know, according to a poll took last week in this class, that everyone here enjoys traveling and likes to do it? Well, why don't you do it more often then? It's fun to do. You go to see new places that you've never seen before. You know, you get to see all your dreams and desires. Well, also according to that poll, it is clear that money and time are the only two things holding you back. Why let that happen if money and time's it? Well, what if I told you there's an option to where money and time shouldn't be a concern for your travel needs? Well, our thing that we are going to graciously give you to the world is a culture box. That's right. Just like any subscription-based service like Netflix, Hulu, Chewy, or Blue Apron, you subscribe, pay a monthly payment, and we give you a monthly culture box that you could see and experience new and different things. You can see samples anywhere from sandy Egypt all the way to the hills of Machu Picchu. You'll get to experience the sights, the smells, the tastes, and all the stories that that culture holds. All from the comfort of your very home. So, why waste money when you can save that money? Because our culture box will cut your traveling expenses down 90%. So, from saving that money, you'll also get to experience all the world has to offer from wherever you pick your culture to start from. So, our culture box will help you become culturally aware. It will help those who physically can't travel get to experience all they've hoped and desired to in the world. And with a subscription service like this, it's almost a crime not to take advantage of it. So, it's clear traveling is very important to life. Your needs, your desires, your wants. Everybody needs to take time off. And the thing most regret in life is not doing more and experiencing more. So, all people need to travel. It's good to get new experiences. And according to the American Psychological Association, cultural awareness is a vital part of life for understanding others' values and beliefs. And the best way to become culturally aware is to go out and experience it for yourself. But if you can't, it's clear that you may need to find another route to do that. So our culture box is here to fix that. So, with all your desires and hopes and wishes to travel, our culture box will be your solution to all those problems. The items included include souvenirs from different places, like the little Russian dolls that get bigger and smaller. Clothing from that culture. We even have canned air so you can see, so you can experience what it smells like to stand on top of a pyramid. We will also include pictures and stories engrined and enriched in that culture. So you will get to experience all of this just from subscribing to our culture box.
So now we're going to talk about the need of this subscription, of this cultural subscription box. People will need to use this term called cultural awareness. Cultural awareness is to respect and appreciate the cultures of people in the places they are visiting. And that, for example, for this box, you just need to appreciate the things you see. So according to Lauren Landry from Northeastern University, cultural awareness also affects how teams collaborate and interact, and makes more of an inclusive, productive environment, which has been validated through research in the fields of business, psychology, and sociology. Since all individuals form stereotypes and based on specific experiences or their own set of beliefs, this box can help you experience other individuals' beliefs from all around the world with these foreign items. So how can this box help college students study abroad? Well, it's simple. This subscription box can give you these items before you go. And according to the Journal of Education for Business, many colleges in the U.S. have students travel to worldwide destinations to study abroad. Especially and in this source states especially in the United Kingdom. So, to get a head start with this subscription box, all these things from where you're going, they can come to your house like this, super fast, and it can let people have some interest from these specific destinations as well. So finally, here are some tips for culturally informed communication. According to the National PTA, people will not only experience other cultures, but they will also use a language that evokes images of people actively engaged in life. So with many of these tips for cultural awareness, this box can feature these items that was stated out for also communicating about these experiences, which is very fascinating for this cultural subscription box.
Alright, so now that we've assessed the need of our product, let's get to the fun part. The want. And you can just say, this is just a box full of goodies, and you're partially right. But also, the most important part about this box is cultural awareness, yet again. Cultural awareness, according to David Hewlin, who from University of Mississippi, analyzed students who studied abroad and how they change as people. He studied that as more time went on when they were in other countries and spent more time with people not like them, their cultural empathy and cultural sympathy increased dramatically, therefore they're more accepting of other people. And also with that, independence has also increased, and also independence and just control of one's mind is more developed because you accept each other you're more accepting of one another, and you're more accepting of yourself and also the people around you. So with this box are souvenirs and memorabilia from around the world, and it includes things such as maybe a Moishkin doll from Russia, maybe a Boston Red Sox hat, or maybe even a Crestwood tribal African bracelet. All handcrafted from the finest products, because we do not want our customers to be dissatisfied and taken away from the immersion of our product, because our whole goal is to immerse our audience and our customers into being in the place of where they are and being culturally knowledge, yes. And with that, our culture box is made from the finest products, and also it's very cheap. $19.99 at a very cheap price. You get things like a Zazzy German pocket watch, or you get an Italian ceramic plate, both costing roughly in the market at about $25. And that's already practically a steal for what you're getting with your $19.99 per month. Not only that, every month we do a subscription. For your subscription, we do a 5 people raffle, where once you're subscribed, you get put into a raffle, and we pick 5 people, and with those 5 people, they get a 2-way trip back and forth to any country they want. And you can bring a friend if you want to also. And with that, I pass on to Robert.
So, we're going to talk about some of the things you're going to need to see. Because you're not going to buy this box if you can't see yourself opening it, owning it. So before this slide, obviously switches on me, what we're going to talk about is I want you to think about the beach. Maybe close your eyes if it helps you imagine more. Think about the sand between your toes. Think about the salt in the air, the waves, the sound they make when they're crashing on the beach. So now that you've seen that, you've thought about it, maybe you thought about some of your most favorite places, I want you to think about the woods, about the birds chirping, and about the smell of the leaves and the fresh fallen rain. And I want you to think about all the denseness of that you could walk through for miles and just never know that you're not even close to civilization. So once you picture that in your mind, I want you to think about the city streets. Some of the coolest things you can see across the nation. Like the Bean. Have any of you seen the Bean before? Because I live pretty close to the Bean. And that's one of the coolest things you can see in Chicago. So when we're talking about the culture box, we're going to talk about pros and cons. Because yes, there are pros and cons to everything. One specific pro we have is that travel and study abroad, so the things that we're trying to sell you in this culture box are meeting two objectives in a program that was made by Tyrone Black and David Dubon of Southern Mississippi University, conducting research in a business study abroad program in England. It goes on about personal development and cultural awareness developed in this program. But one of the things they say is that the meeting and the joining of these students is that they are enhancing their cross-cultural tolerance and empathy and their self-confidence and independence during this study. And there is actual figures to support their conclusion as well. So, not just enhancing things like your cross-cultural awareness or your tolerance for other people, another pro that you're having is you're avoiding danger. I don't know how many of you watch the news. I personally like to dabble in the news a little bit. But one of the things that you're doing while subscribing to this culture box is you're avoiding plane travel, car travel, avoiding going to countries that might be dangerous, avoiding people that aren't necessarily out looking for your best interest while you're traveling. So, I don't know if you guys have read the story by the New York Post, which is a little right-leaning, so I just wanted to dissuade the fact that they are a little right-leaning. So, one of the things they have posted is that the travel website Kayak, where you can look at different plane prices and stuff like that, has made a new option. So when you filter your search results, you can exclude different aircraft by their types. So if you heard of the Boeing crash, you can now exclude Boeing aircraft. You can exclude the big buses, the 747s and stuff like that. You can start knocking out your search results. And if they're doing that, is it even reasonable to travel when you can have a cultural subscription box for $19.99 that shows up at your house without ever having to sacrifice your life to get on an airplane? I don't know about you, but that sounds pretty good to me. Now we're going to talk about some cons, because what else would there be? What pros would there be without cons? So you're missing out on the wave if you decide that you don't want to subscribe to our culture subscription box. In Jenna Luna's Insights by Stanford Business article review, she interviewed Zura's CEO, Tian Zhu, and they said what they had to say about this specific type of subscription, specific type of revenue model, is that everything you purchase, from transportation to entertainment to groceries, will come with a monthly plan. So what used to be just Netflix and Hulu and Amazon and those kind of things will eventually become Walmart, and then they'll become Target. And that'll slowly take over the economy until everything you have is a subscription that ends up at your door. And on top of that, you'll probably have a subscription box that has a bunch of cultural items in it that arrives at your door at the same time. So, not just that, tourists are being hunted, and this is a really scary and very upsetting thing to know about and to read about, because we have found an article that came from Peter Grew and Jonathan Landay from a newspaper in Uganda. It said, after Uganda, new caution. So in this newspaper, they reported on a few things. These are specifically to Uganda. But these tourists are going over to Uganda, and what they want to do is they want to preserve the history and culture of this tribe. They're trying to be more culturally aware, more tolerant to these people. And what they had found is that tourists are being hunted. The article, and on the cover page, it reports, government warnings can be vague. Tour guides and host nations want money to keep flowing in. They continue with, 3 Americans were kidnapped by suspected leftist rebels, not our leftists, Ugandan leftists, and were in a remote part of northeastern Colombia, which is a province in Uganda. So, usually in Lusaka, the capital of Zambia, which is usually peaceful, there is also another terrible scene which makes travel even worse, because in a place like Lusaka, which is normally peaceful, they have been hit by a series of 14 terrorist bombings, including one that exploded in the neighborhood of the U.S. International School. So after these reports, it is very clear that your pros, such as culturally diversing yourself and becoming more tolerant, and definitely avoiding danger, because you're avoiding all these bad things, are going to definitely hopefully persuade you to take a look and possibly try out our cultural subscription box. So now that you've seen it, you've seen yourself opening the box, all getting all these great things, opening the can of the Machu Picchu air to smell the llamas. I'm gonna turn it over to Josh so we can box this all up for you.
In conclusion, the joy of luxury and curiosity is a wonderful thing. It's what makes us human. And with the culture box, the beauty of it is discovering things that you've never thought you'd love before. And not only will you be satisfied with the quality of our products, but you will also be satisfied by what you will learn as time goes on and you learn more about these cultures and you become more accepting of one another. And with that, we have a 30-day satisfaction guarantee, meaning if you don't like it, you can get your monies back, you keep the product, it's all up to you. If you don't like our product, that's totally fine, we get it. And with our product comes pictures, shirts, items, information sheets, maybe even something about that place for, I don't know, somewhere to stay or something like that if you ever want to travel there in the future. So you're getting quite a bit of content with this box for only the price of $19.99. And with that, it's practically a steal. So I'll let Robert explain the rest of this presentation.
So listen, you guys want to subscribe to our cultural subscription box, here's what you got to do. You go online, right? myculturebox.com. You get on this website, find it out. You can sign yourself up. You sign yourself up by calling us right now at 1-800-MY-BOX. We'll throw in 3 months of the food subscription box where you get culture food that is a meal, okay? So you're getting 3 months worth of meals that are gonna come as cultural food. So remember, 1-800-MY-BOX, you can get on there, call us right now. It's only a limited time offer. You'll be able to get your, not just your cultural subscription box, but also your food cultural subscription box.